The balance beam final at the European Championships of Artistic Gymnastics. And what a place in which to hold it. People have sparkled here before. People have shone and changed the sport. Olga Korbut, ring any bells? How about Giorgia Vila of Italy, the fourth strongest in qualification? Now, Martina Maggio of Italy comes into this final in place of Asia D'Amato. Team gold medalist and all-around bronze medalist. Now, here is a gymnast who surprised everybody in qualification, Emma Malewski. Second best performance we saw, 13.5, the 18-year-old from Hamburg. Brilliant. But one nation has dominated the balance beam at the European Championships. It is, of course, Romania. And they have the top qualifier, Ana Barbosu. 43 medals on the balance beam at the European Championships that nation has won. A big force in the Spanish team, the much respected Alba Petisco, the 19-year-old Youth Olympic Games champion, the ninth strongest in qualification. Martina Maggio was the sixth best, by the way. She was ruled out due to the two per country rule. France's Carolann Heduit, excellent fourth place finish for her in the all-around competition. She's the reigning French national champion. It is a popular one in these parts. Alina Schaefer-Betz of the host nation, world champion in 2017, silver medalist last year, but looking for her first European balance beam honours. Great Britain's Ondine Achampong with the finest footwear in the competition and the winner of the Youth Olympic Festival balance beam title at European level in 2019. Again, it's a splendid lineup of gymnasts that will be taking to the balance beam. The start list for the women's balance beam competition, and the top performer in qualification, Romania's Ana Barbosu. Well, it's not like Romania's got any particular heritage on the balance beam at all at continental level, or world level, or Olympic level, or every single conceivable level. And she's a real prospect, is young Barbosu, but she's got some real contenders. Martina Maggio comes into this final as the sixth best performer in qualification. The Noah's Ark rule that allows for two gymnasts per country to go into a final means that due to the withdrawal of Asia D'Amato due to her injury picked up in the vault competition, Martina Maggio comes in as the next applicable qualifier.
Die Daumen aber auch unserer Emma Malewski, die ein bisschen unverhofft hier in diesem Balkenfinale steht, die sich, glaube ich, gar nicht ausgemalt hat.
There's always a tremor of excitement around the gymnastics building when a balance beam final is about to begin. For many people, it is the iconic gymnastics apparatus, isn't it?
And one of the most exciting to watch. There is always a component of suspense when you look at what the gymnast is doing. And what's really nice in this final is that we're going to see a variety of different styles and skills.
Blythe, you've spoken about how Munich 1972 was a transformational point in the sport of gymnastics. It feels, as we look at the balance beam, appropriate to come back to that now.
Yes, indeed. And one of the skills that made Munich 1972 so transformational was a particular type of back handspring exhibited by Olga Korbut on the balance beam. And we should see that same skill 50 years later, can you believe it, in at least one of the routines here in this final.
The competition is taking place in the magnificent city of Munich. Really is a wonderful place. It's been a great pleasure to have the chance to stroll around some of the wonderful streets of this city. It's architecturally just fascinating. It's a lovely atmosphere around the European Championships, indeed in this venue. The balance beam final begins with the fourth strongest performer in qualification, but with the finest execution, Giorgia Vila of Italy.
This is a mount that we are going to see several times in this final. It's proven one of the most popular here this week, the round-off layout step out. A tremendous fight to save that round-off back tuck. She is unlikely to get the full difficulty value for that double turn either, because she did not put her foot in front of her when she ended the spin. So she'll get credit for a 1.5 instead of a double. Dismount should be round off double full twist.
Indeed so, from Giorgia Vila of Italy.
On the round-off back tuck, she's looked so consistent with it all week. It is an element, this acrobatic series, that has given her problems in the past when she did it with a full twist. But right in the warm-up before she went up to do this routine, she did much the same thing. So it's interesting to see that that was indicative of what was going to happen in the competition as well.
She's the gymnast who won the Junior European Championship title at the Hydro in Glasgow at the first European Championships of 2018. Her European Championships, really. Before her Youth Olympic Games, she was the standout performer at both. Amazing. 3 gold medals in Buenos Aires at those Youth Olympics. So long ago now that we almost run the risk of forgetting to talk about it. But we should talk about it so often. It was such an important and incredible time for Italian gymnastics. You look back, don't you, to the first European Championships of 2018 with her at the heart of it, and you look at where Italian gymnastics is now, and you go, okay, well, we had to see it coming.
We did. There were so many people who were so excited about her particularly, but about the entire generation that came through at those Europeans 4 years ago. And just as you said, look where they are now.
Yes, if you were one of those people excited by that generation, well, you were right. I remind you that Italy has won a medal on every single one of the junior events as well. I mean, that's a frightening prospect. 12.166 the score for Giorgia Vila. So she's lost 1.3 marks from the preliminary round.
Second gymnast for Italy.
So to Martina Maggio, the balance beam champion at the Mediterranean Games in Algeria in June. All-around bronze medalist here on Thursday. Team gold yesterday. In as a reserve.
calm switch leap mount. She does such beautiful leaps on the balance beam. Her amplitude is quite extraordinary. Back handspring, layout, step out, layout, step out. Perhaps the hardest acrobatic sequence that we will see in this final. 3 elements strung together. She gets extra bonus for that. Lovely switch ring as well. Well, she has come in as the replacement for Asia D'Amato, but you would never know to watch her deliver this routine so far.
Oh, what a fight. What a fight from Martina Maggio. She's kept herself in this. Martina Maggio cares not for gravity. She does her own thing. How she stayed on the apparatus, goodness only knows. Yes, she's obviously going to lose quite a lot of execution for it, but in a balance beam final, you never really know. Sometimes it's about what you save, not what you lose.
And even mid-routine, you can never really know. With 8 difficult elements counting towards the difficulty score, it can feel like there are 8 different routines being done in one single exercise, because it starts again every time you launch yourself into something new.
But it's a fascinating point that you were making, Blythe. Here's the moment. Right up to that, you would surely have placed your life savings on her completing that routine in its entirety, because she was looking so fantastic. And there is the intemperate nature of a balance beam routine. It's an unforgiving apparatus in an unforgiving sport.
And how often have we seen routines in which if you just cut out 5 seconds of it, it's a total hit? But still, the fight, yes, you're right, she's going to lose execution points, but the fight was tremendous.
And the score is 13.233. It is enough for Martina Maggio to go into the lead. But for how much longer? Really good effort, though. Well, this will be most interesting. Emma Malewski, second strongest in qualification, a 13.5. Her routine not as difficult as some that we'll see, but her execution in qualification was delightful. This 18-year-old has done so well so far.
Side aerial, layout, step out. And just as she's demonstrated throughout this competition, right on. Controls the front aerial. Doesn't let a slight disalignment of her shoulders cause her big problems. So much risk in that triple wolf turn.
Malewski of Germany has made her mark so impressively at these European Championships. An extraordinary triple wolf turn. She could be a wolf in sheep's clothing in terms of this final, sneaking up unannounced and taking a medal. You never know.
Yet another beautiful performance from a gymnast who is establishing herself as completely reliable on the balance beam, and with great reason.
The axis on those wolf turns is tremendous. No oscillation, really.
Everything was so assured. Switch leap to switch leap with a half twist, and she does such a good job of absorbing things. When she's a little bit off, even on the round off of that round off full twist dismount, she just handles it, and she makes you believe that there is no problem at all, and there isn't. To be able to make small adjustments like that when you need to is an invaluable skill on the balance beam, and she's got it.
As a result, she has the lead, 13.466. She's just discovered, and the crowd's just discovered. We saw it a moment before. She can barely believe it, I don't think. Ahead of Maggio and Vila. Wow, Emma Malewski. From one tremendous youngster to another, Ana Barbosu of Romania, the top qualifier, 13.533. Just 16. Youngest gymnast in the final. The star performer of the Junior European Championships in 2020.
Oh, what a save. Front handspring to front tuck. Oh.
Again, we remind ourselves, we're looking at the youngest competitor in this balance beam final. Gymnast who is still establishing herself as a senior competitor.
And she has a lot of difficulty to contend with. It looks like her right foot actually slipped off the beam in the takeoff to that front tuck skill in the front handspring. There is the Corbett, named after the great Olga Corbett, one of the legends on balance beam and uneven bars. Dismount round off, 2.5 twist.
Give her time. Just give her time. She's getting there. She's a very impressive young athlete, Ana Barbosu. This is her first senior European Championships. The promise is so clear, isn't it?
She's a gymnast with an incredible amount of potential. And there is a lot to look forward to. Sometimes when the first skill in a routine, especially on balance beam, doesn't go very well, it can destabilize you. And when you have to do something super difficult 5 seconds later, well, it can be hard to regain your focus and your composure in order to do that skill really well. And it didn't work out today, but the future is really bright.
At the moment, it is Emma Malewski who leads on 13.466. Again, no unified German champion or even medalist on the balance beam.
Da können wir noch einiges erwarten von ihr hoffentlich.
11.566 is the score for Anna Barbosu. So she is down by around 2 marks from qualification and goes into 4th place, but the youngest in the final. We look forward to much more from her in the future. So the warm-ups are in progress. Alba Patisco and Carolann Heduit have already undertaken their warm-ups. Paulina Schäfer-Betz and Ondine Achampong. Now it will be Ondine Achampong, the last gymnast to go to warm up. And this was a change to the rules of apparatus finals made quite recently in gymnastics. This insertion of the touch warm-up time, something that athletes felt very strongly about, and one should be guided by what the athletes feel is best for competition. And it's been a positive development. And actually, from a television point of view, there were concerns about what it would do to television. Actually, it gives us all a moment to take stock of a busy competition. It gives us time to reflect, to look at what is to come and what has gone before. It's been a great thing for television, the insertion of the warm-ups. We could all do with a moment of calmness every now and then, especially during a balance beam final. Alba Patisco of Spain, 9th best in qualification. And she is another gymnast who's going to have to make a quick adjustment from a problematic mount.
One of the reasons so many gymnasts are doing the round-off layout step-out mount is that it is an E-value skill in the code of points, which goes from A right until the middle of the alphabet, and it gets her 5/10 of a point, just as long as she completes it. And every element in the code of points has a difficulty value. So you do an A skill, and it counts among your 8 hardest skills. You get 1/10 of a point, an E skill, 5/10 of a point, an F skill, 6/10, and so on and so forth. And the other thing that comes into play on balance beam is combination bonus. She did 3 acrobatic skills in a row there. And so she will receive a small amount of bonus for that in her difficulty. Round off double tuck. Lovely dismount.
For Alba Patisco, that is 9/10 of an extremely strong performance. One suspects she would do anything just to have one more go at the mount. But doesn't it teach us a lot about Alba Patisco? I say teachers, I mean we knew this about her anyway, that she's so calm when something doesn't go according to plan. And this once again demonstrates it.
Well, it's not how you start, it's how you finish, isn't it? And despite the fall at the very beginning, this was a coolly delivered, very composed routine. Has more than its fair share of difficulty. Right through the dismount. Round off double tuck.
Yes, so nearly, so nearly. It feels almost absurd to be talking about this 19-year-old as the elder stateswoman of the team, but there's a certain maturity to Alba Patisco that we saw during the team qualification process. A calmness to her. She's held in great esteem, clearly, by her teammates. Provisional bronze medal position for Alba Petisco, 12.4. So Georgia Vila drops down into 4th position. We have 3 to go. 1 performance away from determining a medalist. The French gymnast Carolann Heduit, bronze medalist on the balance beam at the recent Mediterranean Games, and she's the reigning French all-around national champion. This is her 2nd senior European Championships.
She has added more difficulty to this exercise compared to last year. She says she's been quite proud of that, and she's proud of the fact that this has become a much more stable apparatus for her. Coming up is one of the elements that sometimes gives her some problems, the Anodi. Absolutely nothing wrong with that today.
Yes, that was from Hanodi to Oyesi today. Beautifully performed.
Side aerial, layout, step out. Lovely combination, the front aerial to the split jump. Acrobatics combined with dance. And dismount, round off double pike.
That's a compelling performance from Carolann Heduit. Now there will be a few tenths likely to go on the dismount because of a large step forwards, but on the apparatus, that was strong.
Overall, very, very good. There were a few small wobbles, and the judges, depending on the size of the wobble and how much it disturbs the routine, can take between 1 and 5/10 of a point. But for Carolann Heduit, little things, just little things, like that, perhaps 1/10 of a point. Again, the back leg bending on the layout step out and the small correction afterwards. That will chip away at her E-score just a little. The dismount, round off double pike, good height above the beam, good rotation, lands with her chest a bit low and has to take this rather large lunge forward. That is something that's going to cost her at least 3/10 of a point. But just to underline it, this was a hit routine.
She's had a very fine championships. Very close to getting onto the all-around podium. Still only 18. And she goes into the silver medal position, 13.4 for Carolann Heduit. And Emma Malewski is guaranteed a medal as a result. What a day for the German team. And this teenager from Hamburg could be about to get even better for them. Pauline Schäfer-Betz of the host nation, the 25-year-old world champion on balance beam from 2017, the silver medalist last year.
Important combination to start with. And she will not receive credit for the second switch leap. Very good back handspring layout step out, however. She's been in this position before at this championships. In the qualification, she had a couple of significant wobbles in the routine and still got a really good score. So as long as she keeps performing like this, she is by no means out of it.
And that almost never goes wrong.
That is her own unique skill. And it is dazzling. Dismount gainer layout.
Well, that was a splendid display from Paulina Schaefer-Betz. And exactly as you said, Blythe, if she can just keep going as she's going, then she's in the mix. A small problem at the start, but when you have the experience and the composure that she has, you keep small problems as just that, small problems. They don't grow. She is one of the greatest on this apparatus. Standing up a moment ago, the leader on this apparatus, her own teammate. Only one more gymnast to go.
Here is the mount once again. She's supposed to connect that and do a second switch leap, but she's not going to get credit for the second switch leap because she doesn't come near 180 degrees on the split. She's also unlikely to get the bonus for the connection, so that could impact her difficulty score, which was 5.5 in qualifications. But all that aside, the rest of it was brilliant, clean as a whistle. The risk that she takes in throwing her head back on the switch ring, and this magnificent skill, which she pioneered, always amazes people when they see it. And finally, a stuck gainer layout. Deductions clearly minimized throughout the rest of the routine.
Score to be
13.466 is the leading score. That's Emma Malewski, then Carolann Heduit 13.4, 13.233 for Martina Maggio. Well done to Martina Maggio, coming in as the alternate for the injured Asia D'Amato. But where does the veteran of this final fit in? It is 13.2 for Paulina Schaefer-Betz, and she's in fourth position. Just misses out with one to go. It means that Emma Malewski will win at least a silver medal. Carolann Heduit is guaranteed the bronze. There is one gymnast left. The seventh strongest performer in qualification, Ondine Achampong. Her score was 13.266. Get that, and it would be enough for bronze. It's been that sort of final. Very hard to predict. She has worked unbelievably hard lately. She deserves a rest, and it will come after this routine.
She is a gymnast with, as you might say, Ollie, a certain elegance. And this is a routine with a certain difficulty. But to watch her perform it, you'd never know. The first big test Back handspring, layout, layout, lovely.
Well, I never. Glued to the apparatus.
And this combination here, side aerial. Normally she does an immediate switch ring. She felt that things were a little bit off, but that is not going to be a big problem. She's going to lose some connection bonus for not doing those two skills without a pause. But most importantly, she did not give up a major wobble nor a fall. And the difficulty, you find it everywhere, like in that full turn with her leg to her head. She doesn't have to do that. She chooses to do that. Back handspring, 2.5 twist.
That is a very good conclusion to a very good European Championship from Ondine Achampong of Great Britain. This is an 18-year-old gymnast, a great prospect in the British ranks, who has been unbelievably busy over the course of the summer. She has really fought through great fatigue, and she has proven herself one of the greatest assets in this British team.
As you said, the British gymnast coming here directly from the Commonwealth Games. They have dealt with some fatigue, but to see the way that they've performed, you never would have known it. And regardless of the score and the placement, this is such beautiful work to watch. Risky too, 2.5 twist. Dismount that gets her 0.2 of a point in bonus because it is valued at a D.
13.466 points to beat. 13.4 to silver.
13.233 for bronze, 13.4 for silver, 13.466 gold at the moment. And we wait and wait and wait. Oh, she's taken the silver medal! Ondine Achampong wins the silver medal, and as a result of that, Emma Malewski of Germany is the European champion. She does it in Munich, and the tears flow. What a sensational day for Germany's gymnasts.
The very first competitor on the balance beam in this entire competition. She led off Germany in the team qualification. Hers was the first routine we saw in Munich, and hers is the best balance beam routine we see in Munich at these European Championships. Congratulations to Emma Malewski.
The first ever unified German balance beam champion at the European Championships, Emma Malewski. And well done to Ondine Achampong winning the silver medal to go along with her team silver. And Carolann Heduit FRA takes the bronze.
Und ich freue mich so doll.
Diese letzten Sekunden hier, bis die Entscheidung kam, sowas schon mal erlebt?
Nee, noch nie.
Umso schöner ist jetzt. Applaus für Emma Malewski!
What did we say at the very beginning of these championships? That stars were born in the Olympiahalle in Munich 50 years ago. And on the balance beam too. This has been a brilliant brilliant championships for young Emma Malewski of Germany. Let's be clear, coming into this, Europe knew she was good. Europe knew she was very good. But this has been a step up. This has been beyond what we thought she could do at this stage of her career. Hats off to Emma Malewski.
The first impression that she made was that she was somebody who could handle the big occasion, and that has carried through the entire week here in Munich into the apparatus final. Well done.
The classified results in the women's balance beam competition. The bronze medal to Carolann Heduit of France. The silver medal to Ondine Achampong of Great Britain, winning the execution tiebreak. And Emma Malewski of Germany takes the European Championship title. And look at the gap between 1, 2 and 3 numerically. There virtually isn't one. Also, a word to Martina Maggio, who would have had very little notice that she was going to be in the final. She was the 6th strongest in qualification. Very well done to her. And we'll bring you in a short while the victory ceremony for that balance beam competition. With one final still to come, the floor final. Let's take a moment to look back at how the medals were won.
Medal ceremony für die Women's Artistic Gymnastics Balance Beam, Siegerehrung, Gerät und Schwebebalken.
The victory ceremony for the women's balance beam competition at Munich 2022. The setting is the Olympiahalle, where balance beam legends have done their thing. And another one maybe has just announced herself.
The medals and Champions Flowers will be presented by. Die Medaillen und Champions Flowers
Very nice
werden überreicht von
gift
Philipp
given to all of the participants, the flowers. Unlike the traditional bouquet, these can be planted. They will therefore stay with you forever. If the athlete doesn't want to take them back with them, they can plant them in a Champions Garden here in Munich, which is a very green city.
Bronze medalist, France. Gewinnerin der Bronzemedaille für Frankreich, Carolann Heduit.
Carolann Heduit of France, a bronze medalist on the balance beam. The first honours for her at the European Championships. Huge congratulations to the
Gewinnerin der
18-year-old.
Silbermedaille für Großbritannien, Ondine Achampong.
The last gymnast to go in the final, Ondine Achampong of Great Britain. And she's only gone and taken the silver medal. And after the sort of summer she's had, after how much competing she's done, that is an extraordinary accomplishment.
Germany. Gewinnerin der Goldmedaille und Europameisterin für Deutschland, Malewski.
Malewski of Germany is the European champion on the balance beam. The second strongest performer in qualification is the top gymnast when it really counts. Such an important part of the team. Now she has her moment of individual brilliance and individual glory. It is gold in Munich for Malewski of Hamburg. Three young gymnasts proving their composure, proving their skill and earning their place. And we'll hear now the national anthem of the host nation, Germany.
Die Nationalhymne von Deutschland.
There they are, the medalists in the balance beam competition at Munich 2022, the European Artistic Gymnastics Championships. Germany consolidates their impressive position on the medal table. 5 nations have won senior honours at these European Championships. And we have the last final to come in just a moment, the women's floor competition. We'll take just a moment to tell you, as we look back at this performance of Malewski on the balance beam, about the Junior European Championships and the standout performances there. But before that, a chance once again to see this display.
dieses besondere Licht bei diesem besonderen Nachmittag hier bei den European Championships Munich 20